Hello and welcome. I am Civillan and welcome to the Deed Dynasty. We have played the Deed. We have, in the Deed, we were tasked with murdering our sister, and we did so in great style and to great effect. And I haven't played this, the sequel, I assume. The Deed Dynasty, where we'll try to murder someone for some reason. We don't know yet. Thank you, Pilgrim Adventures, for letting me murder people in video games. Ooh, 3 options. Okay, let's start furthest back chronologically with a Crimson Garland. Okay, we got things we can do. Nice. Good to know. I'm gonna forget all of when a game presents a list like that, I always forget them immediately. St Andrew's Church, Scotland, February 2nd in the year 1895. Ah, poor Oscar. Your husband was always such a sickly fellow. It is a great shame for a man to die so young. Alas, there was nothing that could be done. Oh no, my husband's dead. There was something that could have been done, Thomas. Oh, and what was that? You received my letter, I assume. Did I not beg for you to send money? Money for what? Medicine? Do you think any amount of medicine could have cured your husband of his illness? I highly doubt it. That was not for you to determine. Now we will never know. The money could have made his final weeks more comfortable, at least. You always were a soft, delicate thing, sister. Death is never comfortable. Nevertheless, the money is mine by right. You should have sent it. Careful now, Margaret. All of the money you have made from the novels that I wrote, it should be mine. Perhaps you've forgotten your many failed attempts to have those stories published under your own name. Nobody would even read a murder mystery that was written by a woman. Were it not for me, those books would never have seen the light of day. Besides, I have always given you a fair share, have I not? A pittance, barely enough to live on. Well, it was your husband's responsibility to provide for you. Now you are a widow, rest assured I will duly increase your allowance. How very generous of you, brother. There is no need to be petulant. If you are going to be that way, I shall take my leave of you. When you have calmed your nerves, perhaps you will come along to visit at Dunshiel House. The family would love to see you. Mother is not herself. Her condition gets worse each day, and it might do her good to see your face. I am sorry for your loss, Margaret. Please believe that. I guess we're killing him. Oscar, my sweet, loving Oscar. Winter was always hard for you. Ever since you were a child, I know you could never stand the cold. This is the most unforgiving winter we have ever known. If not for my brother's selfishness, I know you would still be here with me. He might as well have killed you by his own hand. I think I shall accept my brother's invitation. It has been far too long since I last returned home to Dunshiel House. Was this the same house as the first game was set in? I don't recall. Let's check. Stand by. Okay, here we go. I've got the original Deed loaded up here. We got the Deed Dynasty loaded up over here. I'm like a super fan playing both games at once. Let's see what the house is called. It is the same house! Aaron Bruce. Ah, murderer from the first game. He is the heir to Dunshiel House. Okay. Cool. She must attend to some unfinished business. So this is like, I guess it makes sense from the name, the Deed Dynasty. It's a dynastic series of murders. They're all murderers in this family. But the family continues somehow. Okay, 2 weeks later at Dunshiel House. It's us! One story ends and another begins, such is the way of things. The story of my husband's time on Earth may have ended prematurely, but there are still certain loose threads to be cut away. And as for you, Thomas, the sordid tale of your wasteful life might also be drawing to a close. All it will take is a fitting weapon, a damning piece of evidence, and a small helping of inspiration. For tonight, brother, I will write another of my little murder mysteries, and you will play the victim. Okay, first phase is explore the house, talk to people, and collect 2 useful items. So, we'll need a weapon and some evidence, and we'll need to say the right things to the right people to be consistent. Ah, it's a maid. Please do come in. It is such a pleasure to finally meet you, Mrs. Bruce. Now, you better make a good first impression of me, because if you don't, I will frame you for murder. Bruce was my maiden name. I am Miss Margaret Percy. Of course, how silly of me. I'm Ethel, your mother's nurse. I also do much of the cooking and cleaning at the moment, so please let me know if you require anything. Your family has told me about your loss. I am so sorry about your husband. I'm sure your parents will be glad to see you. Your mother rarely leaves her bed these days, but you'll find your father in the parlour. Such a shame they could not attend the funeral. Only their health is so frail and the frost is so terrible this year. So we're going to seem really positive. Let's see. I'm sure they would have come if they could. I understand. I'm sure they would have attended if circumstances would have. We're going to be lovely, because if they know we're resentful, we'll get framed for the murder. Wait, no, is it? We're not getting framed if we actually perpetrated the murder. We'll get caught. Oh, certainly they would have. Your mother, she was not well, but I'm sure you'll see that for yourself. We've eaten dinner already, but I can prepare something for you if you're hungry. Your brother Thomas has arranged some entertainment for the reading. Lady Lenora will be reading his fortune. Does it say death? I hope it says death. A highly esteemed psychic, popular in your brother's circles. I'll find her in the drawing room. What is she like? She's strange. I find her a little unnerving. I suppose you'll see what I mean when you meet her. Your younger brother Michael and his wife Nellie are visiting as well with their newborn son. I don't believe You've seen your nephew yet. Such a lovely little babe in arms. I've been looking forward to seeing him. We're all positivity. All positivity run. Yes, I've been looking forward to seeing him. He's adorable. Okay, so she seems pleasant enough, which is sensible on her part. Okay, click to walk. We can look at things. Grandfather clock, purchased by my grandfather. Letter on the stand, addressed to my brother Thomas. Let's, we can, we're just busting in there. I didn't even have a choice. Okay, my dear Thomas, last night I finished reading The Crimson Garland for the 193rd time. Your perfect prose still fills me with such desire as I have ever known. You have such talent for writing a good murder. I often find myself fantasizing about such things. What weapon would I use? How would I assure the authorities of my innocence? Though we have never met, I can sense we are kindred spirits. Perhaps we shall be together some day soon. Sincerely, an admirer. Ah. So there's a fan letter. We're not taking anything yet, because we need to tie it all together. But maybe someone here is a fan. I don't know. Okay. I'm just taking my time. So the layout of the house looks the same as last time. Once we enter, we will have to have the conversation. So there's a gun there. I think we have to talk to people once we enter the rooms. Oh, no, we don't. It's a cat. Let's blame the cat. Let's not blame the cat. Okay, it's a gun. It's my father's pistol. So if we were gonna... and he keeps it loaded. So... we're not taking the pistol, though that is a great murder weapon. If we're trying to blame our father, we might want to use a pistol. That's sensible. Let's see. A selection of old notebooks and correspondence. Nothing useful. And no time for resting. Okay, let's talk to our father. Hello! Margaret, it's good to see you. Hello, father. How are you? How am I? Where to begin? My wife is slowly going insane. My eldest son... Oh, so she's a good scapegoat. We could blame Mum. Thomas wastes both his time and his money on carnival performers. Now I have to contend with that spineless crybaby Michael and his brainless ninny of a wife. Yes, it must be hard for you. You always were the good one. I must offer my condolences for the loss of your husband. He was not a bad fellow, I suppose. He was a good man. We would have attended the funeral if it was possible. With my health and your mother's condition, it did not seem judicious. I understand, Father. We're going to be really nice to everyone. We're a good girl. We'll find our feet again soon enough. Let's talk about Mother. How is Mother? Why don't you go see her for yourself? Okay. Tell me about the nurse. Surprisingly good decision, but her condition is improved since the arrival of the nurse. She sounds remarkable. Okay. Well, let's leave the nurse out of it, maybe. Maybe we could frame it as a suicide. We did that in the previous game. No, we framed the maid. I think you could frame it as a suicide in the previous game. Everyone's telling us to go see our mother, so I kind of want to do that last. We need to decide how we're gonna go about it and then really commit to our course of murder action. Our younger brother Michael is helping himself to one of the bottles. Hey Michael, it's your sister. Drinking alone again? If there's a better way to drink, I haven't found it yet. How are you, sister? I will be okay. That's the spirit. I'm terribly sorry about Oscar. You know I always liked him. Would have liked to come to the funeral, but you know how things are with a new child. Oh, I'm sorry, Margaret. What am I saying? What an unfeeling thing to say. You know, I've never been any good at saying the right thing in times like these. Okay, we were going to be positive, but I thought I'd kick off a little bit. Tell me about Mother. Have you spoken to her? Said something interesting the last time I was here. It had to do with fire. What was she talking about? Under impression there was a fire in the house, cried about losing her family. Only there's never been a fire in this house. She's been remembering a lot of things from her childhood. Why do you think it is that father has never spoken about her side of the family and never met any of them? You think they perished in a fire? Yes, and perhaps she was the only survivor. An interesting theory, don't you think? So, if we wanted to frame Mother Dearest, we could maybe use fire. Plenty of weapons around this house. We've got a great choice. A corkscrew. So, you know, if we wanted to blame our brother, maybe use the corkscrew. What's this? Not of use. Lots of useless junk. Sorted baubles. Rat poison. Ooh, tempting. And there's 2 servants' rooms here. I'm expected to sleep in this tiny basement. Thank you, family. This is how I know you love me. Stories I wrote. Poem about women in lunatic asylums. And what still remains? Nothing but vanity. I cast off these chains and embrace my insanity. In hell you will wish you had never been born, but it hath no fury like this woman you scorn. It's very angsty, to paraphrase. Might be useful evidence. Okay. So, like, it's about a woman scorned. I'd quite like to... I think suicide's a tricky one to frame it. Let's see. Scent of jasmine. Love, Thomas. He's been courting my mother's nurse. Well, we'll leave... So, we could try and frame the nurse. She seems nice enough. Do we want to frame the nurse? Nah, I want to frame whoever's nastiest to me. Let's go meet everyone, see who's nastiest, and then secondly, we'll frame whoever's easiest to frame. That's the order of priority. Since you are a woman on a mission, there is something that needs to be done, and you intend to do it. And what is my mission? Many paths you might follow to achieve your goal. Oh, so rude. I'm Margaret Percy, Lady Lenora. It's a pleasure to meet you. I always like to make new friends or potential clients. I provide a great many services. Your brother has hired me for a simple tarot reading. Provides a person with revelations about things that are, that have been, and are yet to come. I can already sense you are skeptical. Perhaps by the end of this evening you will have changed your mind. You might be right. We'll see. Now, if you'll excuse me, I must center myself before the reading. Okay, so is there any notes? You wrote to Thomas begging for him to send money... started writing a reply, and oh, you're such a dick. Okay, I'm your brother and not a bank, but he doesn't mention your name, so we could use that to frame the other brother. Cool. There's a purse here. Let's go see. Here's the nurse looking. Plates, pots, and pans. Nurse, tell me about my brother. Yeah, Thomas, my brother. He's, keeps to himself. He isn't around. You seem reluctant to talk about him. Not used to receiving attention from men. It's flattering, but it just makes me feel so awkward. Ah, he's taken a liking to you. Cool, but she's not into it. Thank you. Bye. I don't want to talk to everyone about everything, because I think this can flag things in the game if you talk to everyone about everything. Here's my brother. I'm gonna kill him. Any good notes around here? Someone's been reading the newspaper. Husband's death was not unique. And my brother's really selfish, and he needs to die. Cool. What about over here? Property valuation file. Had the house valued. Father would be furious if he sold the house, so he was trying to use it as collateral as a loan. Okay, so maybe that would help with the suicide thing, if that's what we're going. I don't want to talk to you, brother. I've read most of the books here. Nice. Good job me, little bookworm that I am. Ah, it's my mother. Hello, it's Margaret. It was a lovely service, wasn't it? So glad I could attend. Lots of people here, aren't there? Your dear husband had so many friends. Your condition is worse than I thought. I assume there must be alcohol at this wake? I would love a glass of sherry. Tell me about father. How's he been? He's, it never meant to harm you, you must understand that. What are you talking about? What did father do? He strangled the poor thing. It only nipped him a little. Then he swore he would never keep dogs in this house ever again, poor little creature. Oh, tell me about my brother. Have you spoken to Thomas? Thomas has been coming to see you. He shares with me his plans and hopes for his future. He's a successful author, you know. Now he just needs to find a good wife. Oh, good for him. Tell me about Lady Lenora. Maybe I could frame her. I don't know if that would be a bit tricky, though. I think it would be... Decisions. So, I'm not entirely sure if it's an option yet, but if we find something that indicates that it is, I'd quite like to aim for suicide as the type, because, I don't know. It's just kind of what I'm in the mood for. No one here... I don't have a particular urge to frame anyone here. They haven't been terribly rude to me yet. So if we're framing it as a suicide, let's start maybe planting the seeds and start talking about my brother and stuff. Hello, it's me, Margaret. Hello, Nellie. It's been so long since I last saw you that I barely recognized your face. Such a lovely morning dress, you poor thing. Thank you for your concern. Of course I'm concerned, we're nearly sisters, aren't we? And here's your nephew, little Malcolm. He's beautiful. Oh, he's beautiful. Being a mother's made me realize a lot of things. Mostly that what is truly important are the people closest to you. I pray only for one thing for little Malcolm, Margaret, that he grows up to understand the importance of family. Oh, it's the most important thing. I would never kill my family. It's a very important thing. I'm worried about Thomas. Hopefully I'll be able to catch up with him later. Okay. I'm just worried about his well-being. They haven't got around to unpacking yet. A hat with hat pins. Ooh. Leave the hat pin. It's a mirror! It's me! And Thomas's bedroom. Anything suspicious in here? Anything you might want to do suicide with? Ooh. Riding crop. In the bedroom? I didn't know he was into that, and I didn't want to know. Collection of correspondence. A number of rejections from publishing houses. Failed to get his own work published. Ooh, a one-sided story of my... Right. Suicide. Taking the letters. I'll have to plant these somewhere later. Okay. Brother's suicide letters, and I think we'll go for the poison. And then we're just going to strongly imply that he's really unstable. Okay, give me that poison. Right, poison, let's go. It's time for the reading. Let's do the reading. The time has come for us to begin. The first card will reveal something significant about your past. It could be your recent past or something distant, almost forgotten. Let's see what the deck holds. Ah, the Lovers. Ah, secret hidden away. A choice you've made or a little of both. Let's see. Have you made a choice about mother? See you on the card, Nelly. Man looks more like my husband, Oscar. No, that's resentment. Nurse Ethel. Have you recently made a choice regarding mother? Not much of a choice. We all know she would be better off in an institution. Not all of us believe that, and good luck convincing father to agree to it. Little mummy's boy. Okay. The Fool. Very appropriate. New beginning, but also failing to see some danger. Let's see. Looks like you, Thomas. Yes, yes. Very amusing. Next card, please. We're going to be real careful. Justice. Oh, Justice. You are getting what you deserve. Let's see. Will you get another novel published? Do you think that's likely? Yeah, recent lack of success. Oh, yeah, you talk about that at the dinner table where I'm going to frame you for suicide. Thank you so much, Lady Lenora. How much did we pay her for that? You need wine. Poison the wine. Okay, so first we plant the evidence. Well, I don't want to plant it in his bedroom because it started there and it... Not there, that's just father's room, I think. Not going to be there, not there, not down in the... Here? Library? Library seems like a sensible place. Hello, it's me in the library. I would like to plant some evidence. How do I do that? This is no time for studying items. Here's some rejection letters. Yes. Yes. This might work. Or I might get done for murder. We'll see. Hey, Lenora. So actually, let's talk to Lenora. No, let's not talk to Lenora. Let's talk to our father, though. Like, oh, your son seems unstable. He's fallen asleep. No. Who's in here? Hello. Michael. Yeah, he's down in the cellar with wine. I shouldn't have talked to him. He'll know that he told me where my brother was. Kill the man. I better not start drinking now. Can I just use the arsenic? Oh, poison, of course. All the smartest murderers in my stories tend to favor this weapon. I silently open the small bottle and pour some into the silver goblet on the table. Slink back into the murky shadows of the cellar, watching closely as Thomas finally opens the wine bottle and fills the goblet to the brim, not noticing its contents. He raises the goblet to his lips for a long drink of wine. That's all you need to see before slipping back upstairs to await the inevitable. Now I got an achievement. You probably can't see it with the way I cropped the video. Oh, I don't need to run away in this one. I don't understand how he could have taken ill so quickly. He seemed fine earlier this evening. Perhaps he just had a little too much wine. Yes, I'm sure it was the wine. He's dead. What? But how? It was no sudden sickness. I am almost sure he had been poisoned. I'll need to summon the police. Please don't. I bet there's a fun one we can do with the fan letter as well. Oh my, it can't be. May our dear brother rest in peace. Don't say that. It makes you sound like a murderer. Be upset. Oh, Michael, it's all just so terrible. I know, my darling, but don't you worry. The police are here, and they will soon find and arrest the ruffian who broke in and killed my brother. Oh, someone broke in, did they? It's a good thing we have an accomplished detective such as yourself in the family. Of course someone broke in, Father. What else could have happened? Thomas may have been my son and heir, but he was also a pompous little idiot. Please don't. There were many people who thought little of him, and some of them are right here in this room. No, I won't accept that. One ought not speak ill of the dead. I'll speak however I please about my own son, you tarty little. It's a detective. Hey, detective, can you not be so close to the camera, please? This is a real close-up of your face. I didn't need to see all your paws in that much detail. Okay, you're going to find the evidence. Everyone who was present at the time of the murder. Even my wife. You got some more sense speaking to a doornail. I do mean everyone. Lady Lenora first. Okay. She'd be tough to frame, I think. She's got powers. I fully believe... Her reading was terrible, but I believe she has powers. Hello, it's me. I'm very emotional. Of course, Inspector. Need to search a person. Okay, and have a seat. So I guess that's if you forgot to put some evidence somewhere. A few questions. Very sorry to hear you lost your husband recently. I see you're still in mourning. How well would you say you've been coping with his passing? I think I'm quite resilient. I know how to cope with these difficult events. My brother inquired about my well-being, and I told him everything would be okay. And that seems consistent with what you've told me. Yes! 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 I'm sure they will support me. Family, yes, very important. And I told someone else that my family was very important to me. Yes, that's correct. Yes, they would have attended. Yeah, I've forgiven them. Yeah. I was very consistent with my story. Notes or inconsistencies. Yeah, the real trick to this game is not, like, choosing the murder weapon and the evidence. That stuff kind of, I feel like you can get away with a lot. It's not implicating yourself with the things that you say. The nurse mentioned, yeah, was looking forward to meeting your nephew. Saw you again in the pantry. Thomas had been showing some interest in her. Must have been in a fairly healthy state of mind. Shoot. I went to speak to my father. Had to listen to him complain about the current state of your family. You're just really giving me a grilling here, like I'm some kind of murderer or something. Sympathized with him. Spoke to you before the reading. Seemed like a woman who was on a mission. Didn't deny it, but questioned her about what the mission might be. I wanted to finally meet my nephew. And I did accomplish that. And I was skeptical. Wow, everyone really sold me out here. He talked about a new child and I was a bit offended. Yep. He thinks her family perished in a fire. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, she could have set a fire. Cool. She believed her. Yeah, I confused my mother. She recalls telling you that Thomas visits her quite often to share his hopes and plans for the Oh, no. They're really thinking it wasn't a suicide. I suppose it's possible. But we don't know for sure. Sister-in-law mentioned you came to see her and the baby. And I was really excited to see my nephew. Did I speak to my brother this evening before the reading? No, I didn't. There we go. There's a reading. Thomas interpreted the cards. Lovers was something to do with your parents, and he thinks your mother belongs in an institution. And yeah, right. He's saying he didn't do suicide. So now we gotta do a quick 180 and start trying to pin it on someone. We've already said our father killed animals, so let's talk about our father and how he didn't seem to let it happen. He never had much of a sense of humor. And writes something about his future. He wasn't feeling very positive about what lay down the road from him. Thorough search of the house. Found a bottle of perfume for Nurse Ethel. They were both young. Found something interesting. A pile of rejection letters. He was having a hard time getting his work published. Must have been difficult for him. Suicidal, maybe. He placed them somewhere he knew they would be found. Okay, maybe putting them in the library was not a good move. Poison is a woman's weapon. The women of the house. Oh, I might get done here. father free from suspicion, mother's an unfortunate old lady, brother drank the arsenic intentionally, no evidence. Okay. I'm free to go. Yes! I didn't manage to make it any specific. I got away with it. Didn't manage to pin it on anyone. But that's alright, I guess. I write mystery novels. This seems like the outcome I'd like. Some weeks later. Don't tell me I got done some weeks later. Chapter 18, The Confession. In these pages I have laid myself bare. I have confessed my sins for all to see. Yes, I am the loving wife. Yes, I am the secret author. And yes, I am the sister. Why? Oh, right. Yeah, we're in jail because we didn't direct the blame towards someone else. Oh, dear. In the end, justice favours nobody. We get what we deserve. If you learn anything from these pages, let it be that. Damn it. Oh. Well, I messed up. I should have implied his mental state was worse than it was. But we'll try again. We'll try again in the future, and maybe I'll suck less. I've been Civilian. This has been the Deed Dynasty, and I completely failed to get away with murder. Isn't that sad? I accidentally started the game again. I will see you next time. Bye.